From day one, I always wanted to be a race car driver. I used to burn around school and say, I'm going to be a race car driver one day. All the kids were like, oh, have a look at this little fat kid, he doesn't know what's going on in life. You know, racing's like a drug. Once you've done it, you just want to keep doing it.
I've got my own racing background. You know, I understand the way the sport works. I get the passion, I understand why Brett wants to go on the track and what the drug is, you know, that he's obsessed with.
I'm Brett Hobson, owner-driver of the Hobson Motorsport Nissan GTR Nismo GT3.
I'm Laura Hobson, owner-manager of Hobson Motorsport.
Started racing in the early 2000s. I started in juniors, kind of just scrubbed through and I just went racing for fun. At 16, I jumped senior heavy and I went straight into senior clubman super heavy. We won a few Australian championships, won lots of state championships. I reckon that's about when it started to really get serious, was when the money started to get tipped in and then we were actually going away racing to win, not to just have fun. Cam's Rising Star, that helped me get from karting into motor racing. I ended up winning the scholarship and went on into Formula Ford. We struggled a bit to kind of get a budget together for the next year, and we stood back and had a look around and we thought V8 supercars is where everybody's going. Back then it was a Fujitsu series, and we went and bought the ex-Stephen Ellery BA Falcon and headed to the Fujitsu series. I've
had racing in my life for as long as I can remember. It's been, you know, around my family. So it started off with my dad. We started off racing in the Trans Am truck series. And then once my brother and I got a little bit older, I started to make noises like I wanted my own car and I wanted to race, and Dad bought me the Fairlane. So that was his first race car that he had to sell when I was born. And then he found it and bought it back, and then we put a new engine in it, and yeah, then I went racing. To tell you the truth, I don't really know why we bought our own car. We decided to sell the car, move it on, and we went and drove for a team after that, which was in Sydney Star Racing. We had a lot of good results and finished off 2008 with Sydney Star Racing. At the end of 2008, basically my dad said that we got to pull the pin. You know, a very hard decision to be made was to step back, and I didn't race anything at all up till around 2012. Started to get the buzz back again. We went into 2015. It was a very hard year for us. For me personally, it mentally broke me. I always said after that year I'd never ever go back racing again unless I owned my own car and was in control of my own destiny. And that's how we've come about to where we are now. The GT category was starting to grow, and there's some pretty cool cars out there. There was one thing that kept falling back, and that was the Nissan. The way it blew past everybody up the straight, I've got to have one. These great ideas started running through my head. Jumped on a plane and done a day trip over to Connecticut and met with the always evolving guys over there and saw the cars and had a look, and went to buy one car, ended up with two, was just snowballing. Everything was stacking up against us, and this great idea soon turned into what have I done. Budget is always the biggest killer and the biggest downfall to any race driver in Australia. We're a privateer team, we don't have any factory backing from anybody. I went out and bought the cars myself, and nobody sees what you've gone through to get there or to be able to even put it together. Why does he want to spend all of our money and all of our weekends doing this when we've got bills to pay at home? It definitely helps. The support factor is, I think, heightened because I understand why he's doing it. But that's because I want him to do well. You know, I understand what we've done to get there. I understand how much it means to him, so I'm along for the ride. I worry for him in a capacity that he doesn't have time to worry about. The Bathurst 12 hour, that kind of annihilated us really. We've had to stand back and have a look and say, well, all right, this year's done and dusted. There's no use trying to really do too much. But yeah, I think we just need to sit back now and just focus on getting 2018 sorted. But the cars themselves have just brought this whole new outlook on things that we didn't even know about. The GTR scene is unique. It really is a family, you know, and that's, I think, what Brett and I have really enjoyed. We've met some amazing people in such a short amount of time, and they just embrace you. You know, if I would have had another brand of car, that wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened. It's just, the car themselves just brings a great group of people. Even when I was a kid and, you know, we went to Oran Park and we went to all these racetracks,
Unless you knew somebody inside the garage, there was no way you'd get in there to even touch a car, to look at it. You know, that was one thing that we want to do with our cars. We've taken it to Power Cruise, we've taken it to Motor X, we've taken it to the GTR Festival. Hell, I was doing burnouts out in the back paddock in it in the GTR Festival. We want to take it to people, and we want people to be able to get up close, have a look at it. And there's one thing that we've always wanted to do is be able to give back and be able to take the car places and for people to actually see it. We went to Cootamundra. I've never been to anything like that. Like, you know, and you see the passion that these guys have and the journey that we've had since the 12 hour with people that we've made friends with and that we've gone and done stuff with after that is just, it's been great. It's been absolutely unreal. The GT3 car is just it's a sick car. Like, it is ballistic, right? It is just a tough looking, mean car. You look at all the GT cars, they're actually really, really tough. Big rear wings, they've got big front splitters, you know, big tyres, flat floors. They're just cool bits of kit. The road car GTR is 4-wheel drive, the race car is rear-wheel drive. The chassis itself, the road car chassis, you know, you pull my road car up beside it and you pop the bonnet, the engine's the same. You know, they do have a lot of road car features on them, but the biggest thing is with the GT3 car compared to, you know, V8 supercars, a road car and everything like that, is the aero on the car. The aero is just unbelievable. I'd never driven a GT car until I got to Bathurst. I've always struggled in the supercar around there to do, I think the quickest I've done is a 210 flat. You know, and I jump in a GT car and the first kind of thing out the gate, I've done a 208, then the next one I've done a 206, then in the race I've done a 204. It kind of out aeros and out brakes a supercar. The GT cars are very restricted. You know, we're limited on boost and we've got restrictors in them and stuff like that to try and to make the balance of performance. So if you had to really let them loose, like, I'd hate to see, you know, how quick they'd be. In a straight line, that's where the 2014 car really strives, like consistently towing up on the back of cars and just going around them and see you by in a straight line. But the GTR itself is an all-round race car. It's a beast. Like, the thing is just a great car. I think I'd rather be able to blow the doors off everybody in a straight line than have to outbrake them and you know, stuff like that in the corner. So my wife, I'm dead set lucky to have her. She was the one that pushed me to do it. She's kind of grounded me and given me a bit of direction in life, and she's always the hand on my back that's always said, it'll be fine, we'll work it out, we'll get through it.
Brett is very stressed as a driver, you know, so he tends to get in his own head, and I can see when that's going to happen. So I've got this double duty of managing the team, making sure that's all on track, but then also managing Brett, talking him down, you know, when he gets really sort of stressed about how things are going. You know, I'm very hands-on, but that's my job. It's my team, it's my husband, it's our car. So, you know, it's my job to understand what's going on fully. If I didn't have her in my life, I would not be anywhere at the moment. It's been a hard road, and as I said, she's always behind me all the way.